friends, welcome back to Sheena's Homestead. Today we are going to make ourselves a beautiful barbecue on a budget. It is going to be tasty and delicious, full of vintage recipes, just like my vintage apron. This first recipe that I'm going to make for you is passed down from my grandma. She has made baked beans for as long as I can possibly remember, and everyone always asks her for the recipe. So today I am going to share that very special recipe with you. It is super easy. We're actually just going to use canned baked beans, and we're just going to jazz them up. The second recipe I have for you is passed down from my great aunt, and she makes the best pasta salad you possibly can. I know pasta salads are overplayed often at barbecues, and a lot of times they're just so full of mayonnaise and sour cream that they're kind of hard to eat. But this one has the perfect amount of acidity and sweetness, and it's full of vegetables. I promise you're gonna love this recipe as well. And finally, how can you have a barbecue without some watermelon and a fruit salad? So we are gonna round out our barbecue side dishes with a fruit salad that your friends are going to love. And last but not least, the star of our show is hot dogs and chicken sausage. So I got these at Aldi. They're really inexpensive. It's less than $5 for each of these. You can't get any cheaper than that, especially when you are throwing an organic or as close to organic party as you can. So this is going to be the star of our show today. Let's get started. So to begin, I baked our bacon, and I am boiling our pasta at the moment. So just to bake bacon, I put the oven on at 400 degrees and I put it in there for 20 minutes. It comes out perfect every single time. I will not cook bacon any other way from now on. And then I have our pasta, and this is the brand that I use. As you can see, it is not organic labeled, but it is straight from Italy. So I tend to trust products that are made straight from European countries like Italy. They specialize in pasta, and they take great pride in what they make. So they are going to tend to use less preservatives and things like that than even an organic certified company here in the US. So I buy my Italian pasta at Whole Foods. This week it was on sale for $1.97 for this entire box. So that saved me a lot of money. And another tip, when something is on sale, especially something like dried pasta, I buy a lot of it. So stock up when you see a good price. Don't be afraid to buy 5, 6, 7. If you have a big family, sometimes I buy something like 12 boxes, and we just put them aside, and I have that. I've secured that awesome price, and I can use that for many, many dinners to come. Okay, so let's get started on that pasta salad. I am going to take my pasta off the stove and drain it. You can use any kind of noodle you want to for your pasta salad. It really doesn't matter. As long as you like it and it's pretty and it fits for your needs, that's fine. I today am using an elbow pasta, which is pretty traditional. All right, so get yourself a nice large bowl. We are going to let that pasta cool off just a little bit. All right, so we're going to start with our mayo. I get my mayo from Trader Joe's. It's a decent price, and this one only has about a cup left, so I am actually doubling this dressing recipe. We're going to use 1 box of pasta, which is going to go a long, long way. It'll feed a lot more than the people we have coming today. So that's a good thing, because you'll have leftovers for yourself. And then we're going to get another cup from this next jar. I really like that it comes in a glass jar. Glass is always healthier. So, okay, we've got our 2 cups of mayo. Next up is our vinegar, and I love the vinegar in this recipe. It cuts the sweetness that we are going to add in just a little bit, and it's just such a delightful contrast of tastes. So we need 2 tablespoons. I'm gonna eyeball this, but feel free to measure yourself if you like. Okay, so now we need 2 tablespoons of dry mustard seed. You can put more or less based on how much you like the taste of mustard seed. And then we're going to put a healthy dose of pepper. Mine is a rainbow corn from Trader Joe's, and it has a little spice to it, like a little zing. And I really enjoy that, especially in this salad. All right, and 1 teaspoon of salt, but we're doubling this, so 2 teaspoons of salt. I have a gorgeous Celtic sea salt. It has a ton of trace minerals and elements in it that are really good for you. So if you can, switch to Celtic salt. So much better for your health. Okay, so for the sugar element, I am going to use half of the recipe regular sugar, and I am going to add the rest of that sugar count as honey. I'm really trying to eliminate sugar from our diet completely. So what I've been doing lately is experimenting by putting half the amount of sugar that it calls for and the other half honey. So it kind of just, I guess, eases the kids into the taste of the honey in place of the sugar. And eventually we're going to cut out all that sugar. So stay tuned for that. So I'm just going to give this a nice little mix here. So the last thing I'm going to do here before I start adding the vegetables and the rest of the pasta is I'm going to take some of this dill that I grabbed from the garden, and I'm going to chop it up and put it in this salad. You would not believe how much this adds to our delicious pasta salad. If you know my show, you know that I love dill, and so does Rob. So we're always trying to add it to everything. I feel like it's such a beautiful summer herb. It just makes everything taste more like summer. So let's get that added. And last but not least, lemon. I always use fresh lemons, but this morning I used the last one in my water for the day. So we're gonna just add a little bit of this lemon juice, and it just brightens everything up. It's the perfect complement to the vinegar and the sugar and honey, and then of course that dill. Okay, now we're going to start adding our ingredients. This is the fun part. I have this riced cauliflower, and what I love about it is that it's already cut up, and usually I don't buy things that are already cut up because that usually means it's more expensive, and we are trying to save money. But when it comes to cauliflower, to have them already chop it up, it's in the perfect size for our pasta dish. And not only that, but I feel like there's not a lot of waste. When you get a cauliflower head on your own, a lot of it is like the tough stalk that you're not gonna end up putting into your meal. But when you buy it like this and it's already pre-chopped, you're getting a lot less waste because we are going to use this whole thing. So I am going to put this in. This is about 2 cups of cauliflower. And then same with the broccoli. I don't usually buy the heads of broccoli because I feel like there's so much wasted. You just get that giant stalk and half of it goes to the chickens. So I like to buy the heads instead because it just makes things a lot easier. So I'm just gonna chop these up and we'll add that in too. Done chopping, I actually went ahead and washed the broccoli. The cauliflower was fine, it's pre-washed. But broccoli, I don't know, I just gave it another little rinse before I chopped it up. So now we are adding that to our salad. And the truth is that you can add anything you want to this salad. It just gets better and better. If you have bell peppers, go ahead and chop up some bell peppers. Or, you know, whatever your favorite vegetable is, it's totally fine to add in. While we're waiting for our corn to finish boiling over there, I'm going to add this pasta before it gets all clumped together, which is already starting to happen. So I'm going to get that in. And you can see how much one box of pasta is to this salad. Now we have a full bowl. And you just want to keep mixing until we've got that dressing all evenly distributed. I just had a thought. I cooked a whole pound of bacon for the baked beans recipe, and I figure, you know what? I only need 2 pieces for that recipe, so why not cut this up nice and small and add it to our pasta salad? I think that would be a really nice addition. Now, if you're trying to keep your pasta salad meat-free, this is not something that you would want to do, but my family enjoys meat, so I think it'd be a great little addition to this salad. And the rest of the bacon that I cooked is going to go in the freezer, and cooked bacon in the freezer is just such an easy thing to have on hand. It allows you to add last minute to any recipe that you have without sitting there and waiting and cooking a whole pound of bacon. It's definitely one of my easy, convenient tips. So, oh, and I love the color that this bacon adds. It's just perfect. Okay, well, I'm going to put this aside while we wait for our corn to finish cooking. But this is looking absolutely delicious. So we'll put that there, and now we are going to work on our baked beans. So we need a casserole dish. My grandma has the old pot of beans. It's just so cool. It's the 2 tones of brown with the lid that goes on top. It actually almost looks like a honey pot. So I'm sure if you have older folks in your family that have come to barbecues or whatever kind of family events that you have, they've got these older ceramic pots or pans or whatever that are just iconic in your mind. So I do not have one just like hers. I am just using a casserole dish. But if you have a family heirloom that you can pair with a family heirloom recipe, even better for you. So we're going to start off with our baked beans. Just going to open these 2 up. This is a super easy recipe, and after you see it, you're going to be like, what? That looks like cheating, but it is so delicious and so iconic. You will be known for your baked beans after you've seen this recipe. So we're just going to strain our beans really quickly here. Pour them in. So now we have all that flavor. Okay, so now we have our beans in here, and I'm going to add 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and I am going to cut up 4 pieces of bacon, and I'm just giving it a rough chop. We actually want it to kind of hold its shape as it bakes, because this dish is going to bake for 2 hours. So we don't want it to render down to nothing. You want to be able to see the bacon pieces in there. So we've got that. And I actually have my bacon here from when I cooked it on the pan before. And I am just going to take some of the bacon fat, just a little bit, and add it right to our beans. It'll save me some cleanup too. This is 1 teaspoon. I know this combination doesn't sound that great, and just looking at it, it is a lot of sugar, but believe me, it is a treat. So it is something special that my grandma always brought with, well, still does. She still brings it with, and it's her most requested dish. As a kid, we always had lamb roast. It's a Croatian tradition, and my great-great-grandpa always prepared them and roasted the lamb outside, and it was a huge event that family and friends from far and wide were really excited about and looked forward to. And these beans were #1 on the side dish list for most requested. So really is a special dish. Okay, so this is all mixed together. It's looking beautiful, just like my grandma makes it. And we are going to cover it with foil and put it in the oven at 325, low and slow, 2 hours. When you get closer to it being done, about a half hour out, you can look in and take a peek at your beans. You can uncover them at that point if you'd like to. But these are best served very hot. All right, let's get back to our pasta salad, because as soon as I am done with the corn, we'll get this into the fridge so that it stays nice and chilly until we're ready to serve it. It is also delicious, nice and warm. If you're making it for your family to eat right away, it tastes great when the pasta is still warm from cooking and then you put all this stuff in. It's really appealing. Normally I don't like warm pasta salad, and it's definitely not something you should eat if it's been sitting out for a long time. But if you're eating it as soon as you make it, it's good that way too. So now I'm going to teach you how I get corn off the cob without making a big mess. So we have our boiled corn here, and I just use these tongs and have a bowl that is much bigger than the size of your corn. And then you could either wait for it to cool off and just use your hand, but I am not patient enough for that. So I'm going to use the tongs to hold it, and then I just use my knife to cut right down each side. And then none goes to waste. Pretty sure I learned this from the cooking channel when I was like 7 years old. I was one of those weird kids that watched the cooking channel and Bob Ross. Those were my favorites. Okay, now we get to add it right in. It's like the crown jewel. It's the pretty part. So for this recipe, I made 4 ears of corn. You can do as much or as little as you like. But I feel like 4 is just perfect, and it really adds a lot of bulk to the salad, and it's filling. So that's the point. When we are having a barbecue on a budget, we want to fill bellies. And corn is an inexpensive way to add a little bit of bulk. Plus, it's beautiful. All right, so I'm going to clean up the kitchen now and get ready for our next dish, which is just a fruit salad, but I'm going to show you how I make it a little extra special. Oh my goodness, I almost forgot. I started cleaning up the kitchen and I realized I forgot to put the cucumbers in this salad. So I'm gonna take them and just quickly skin them here. I'm just gonna peel them really quick, and we don't want any of the seeds to be in our in our salad. So we're gonna scoop the middles out, but nice and easy. How could I forget the cucumbers? It's such a summer staple. I guess I was just too excited to start that fruit. Okay, so now we're just gonna add this cucumber right in. Still can't believe I forgot that. But it adds a nice little fresh crunch, so don't skip it. All right, now I'm gonna cover this and put this in the refrigerator until we're ready to eat, and we'll get started on our fruit salad now. All right, so I'm adjusting things as I go. Originally, I was going to use this watermelon as the base of our fruit salad, but I have enough fruit to make more of like a berry salad all on its own. So I am going to stretch this watermelon even further and just do nice slices still on the rind. I think kids love that, and it's such a classic barbecue type food, and there's no hassle. So I'm just going to get this guy started. This is a massive watermelon, and it looks like it's a really good one. So I'm going to start by just working with a quarter of my watermelon, and I'll just get it smaller and smaller. This is my Cutco knife. I love this knife. I've been made fun of before. I get a lot of comments that it's like a sword, and maybe it is, but it works perfectly for me. So this is an 1/8 of our watermelon, and I am just going to cut about 1 inch slice, and we're just going to layer our big serving tray. Make sure you cut it thick enough that it is nice and sturdy. And it kind of stays more whole that way too. And if you have chickens, save the rind. Our chickens absolutely love leftover watermelon rind. Before I cut up this watermelon too much, I want to show you a quick tip. You see this yellow spot on the watermelon? That is what I look for when I am choosing watermelon. I don't tap them, I'm not listening for sounds. All watermelon have water. And I don't really necessarily hear a difference between one versus the other. But for me, the spot on the watermelon has always worked perfectly. So the creamier and more yellow that spot is, or the more pronounced that it is, it tends to be a better watermelon, because that's the spot that it sat on the ground. So the longer that it sits on the ground, the more ripe it's gonna be. So I always try to pick a watermelon with a nice creamy yellow spot on it, and I'm telling you, I'm 10 out of 10 when it comes to picking a watermelon with that trick. So try it yourself and you'll see. Okay, our watermelon is cut into slices. It was such a big watermelon that I was able to make a bowl of it as well. So rind to the chickens, and we are on to our next dish, which is our berry fruit salad. So I got this nifty little container from Aldi, and it's actually a strainer and a bowl. So I am going to put my strawberries, and you know what, actually I'll wash one at a time. That way I can get these all nice and cut up. It's nice to have the bowl so that it doesn't leak all over stuff and it can still continue to drain while it sits here. So I'm going to get my smaller cutting board, and you're going to cut these up. Got my dish, and I'm just going to put that there while I cut up some of these strawberries. I like to cut them down the middle, then turn it sideways and cut it a couple more times so that you get these nice slices. And I've got my pineapple. This is a great way to fill a fruit bowl on the cheap. It was $2 for this pineapple. And I start by cutting the top off and the bottom with my samurai sword. I'm telling you, I always get made fun of for this sword. And you'll see in the comments, someone's gonna say something. That's okay, it does me well. Look at that. Pineapple are hard to cut, but when you learn how to do it yourself, it is a money-saving tip, because this same pineapple would cost you $6 at least if you had someone else cut it. And as you can see, it doesn't take very long. Okay, and then you can see the center of your pineapple, which is like the rind. And you can see it very easily, so you just cut straight down, kind of like an apple. And then chickens, and then the rest you can just dice right up. And a lot of times when I'm working with fruit, I use my bench scraper. It's so easy to get it right into the bowl. You guys, I forgot to put my apron back on. I was helping the kids with something and I knew something was missing. So we're all set now that we got that back on. And now I've got blackberry. So I'm going to take these blackberries and cut them in half because some of them are really big. Actually, this one's huge, so I'm going to cut it into fourths. And then just sprinkle it in with your salad. Add such a pretty little finishing touch. If you're going to wait a while to serve your salad, I would suggest leaving the blackberries whole because then they won't bleed on the rest of the fruit. But if you are serving your food right away, then go ahead and cut. Helps to distribute the berry better, and blackberries are really expensive fruit, so it's kind of nice to cut it up so that everybody gets a little piece of it and not just the first 3 people that dig into your fruit salad. So, all right, that's looking good. I'm going to give it a little stir. Nice. All right, I'm gonna finish with these blackberries, and then we're gonna put some blueberries, and then for my secret little trick. Okay, our blueberries, I just washed them. Okay, now we're gonna get a little bowl. This one's perfect size. And I have a lime here, and I don't need a lot of it. Just a small, I would say like 1/4 of it. And I'm gonna squeeze that into this bowl. We'll have to see how much juice this gives me because some limes are really juicy and some aren't. So I would say this is about a tablespoon of lime juice that we need. So I'm gonna squeeze just from the bigger half, a little bit more. Okay, and then a tiny bit of lemon juice. I'd say about a teaspoon. And then my secret ingredient is honey. So we are going to take that and just put about a teaspoon in. And we're going to mix that up. So we're going to take that and just drizzle it over the top of our fruit salad. And it gives it just a nice little glaze. It's pretty, and it'll help from our fruit browning and oxidating, so it's a double bonus. And you know what? It's so good. I gotta get all of it out of this bowl and in there. And our beautiful fruit salad is done. Okay, it's time. We're ready for our chicken sausage and our hot dog. So I'm gonna hand these off to Rob. And he's gonna get them cooked up on the grill. This is all starting to come together quite quickly. So I've got the beans. They came out of the oven. They look delicious. I'll show you those in a second. Like I said, Rob is out cooking our sausages and our hot dogs, and I've got this little caddy of condiments ready for us to go. It's ketchup, mustard, we have some sweet relish, you can also do jardiniere, and I have some pickles that we canned together from last year's garden. So this is really nice. I got this little thing from Aldi, and it stays right in the fridge just like that, so you can take it out and it's easy to serve your guests. We have our fruit salad. I'm going to go out and grab the pasta salad from the fridge. But first, we're going to arrange our buns here. So I've got 2 dishes, one on top of the other, and I'm going to put the hot dogs and sausages in this one and the buns down here. The hot dog buns I got on sale at Whole Foods this last week. So we'll stack those just like this. It looks cute and amazing. Now, if you're traveling with your barbecue, you can check out my episode. I did one on sandwich platters on a budget. It is a huge hit. It is my best video. And in that video, I show you how I collect cake containers. the ones that you get your cakes from in Costco or Jewel or wherever it is that you buy your cakes from. And I use those as containers when I'm traveling. A lot of times I take them and I turn them upside down so that it's more of a bowl with a lid. And it makes it really easy for me to bring a lot of food to a lot of people that are not at my home. So check out that episode if that interests you, and learn some more tips and tricks. We're just working on final touches here. No barbecue is complete without chips or pretzels. So just make sure you have one of those on hand. Perfect. Hot dogs are done. I am going to load them up right here. It smells delicious. It looks delicious. I love the difference in the chicken sausage because you can see very clearly that they are not hot dogs, so people can easily choose which one they would like to have. So I'm just going to put these all right here, and we are ready to go. Can you believe that I made all of this food that can serve 10 people for under $75? I have it written down right here. I've got hot dogs and sausages. They were $10. I have a bag of pretzels right here, which was $2. My watermelon was $5. It wasn't organic, but it was non-GMO, and I got it at Aldi. I picked the biggest one that I could, and I got a whole bowl of fruit out of it and a whole tray of watermelon slices. So that's perfect. My fruit salad, I rounded up. So I spent less than $20 on this fruit, but I rounded up because I just, organic food prices are really high. I was lucky enough to find this on sale, but in case you don't, I spent $20 on my fruit salad. The buns were on sale for $3 a package, so I bought 2 packages, so $6 for the buns. The beans, I figure about $12 total. That is a little overzealous. I think that I spent a lot less than $12, but organic bacon is very expensive. I bought the bacon to be used inside the beans. I only used a couple pieces, so I still have that left over that can be used for another meal. So I think I was being a little overboard on my price of $12, but just in case, we'll keep it at $12. And my pasta salad, I'm gonna say it was $20. A lot of the things, you already have at home, like you might already have the mustard powder, you already have vinegar, and you likely have pasta in your pantry right now. But if I was gonna go out and buy all of the ingredients at the same time to make this salad, I would give it $20. And then, so adding those all together, $75. Can you believe it? I can't. In this economy, I cannot believe that we only spent $75. But it is possible, and I'm here to show you that you can. If you enjoyed this video and you like videos like this one and saving money and feeding your family and friends great food, then check out some of my other videos. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Sheena's Homestead. Bye, friends.